Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we're discussing a little darling from the early 1990s. We're looking at the Omega Speedmaster Automatic, sometimes known as the Reduced. This is the rarely seen reference 1750.032, 39 millimeters in 18 karat yellow gold. I've always said that if you're going to have a yellow gold watch, let it be modestly sized, vintage, or both, and this watch actually checks both boxes. Judging by the hallmarks on the case, I suspect this watch was made between 1993 and 1995, which, as of 2019, makes this a vintage watch. It's an easy one to wear. On my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, 39 millimeters in the Speedy automatic case is an easy one to wear. The timepiece isn't particularly thin, nor is it thick, 12.6 millimeters. The shape of the case might mitigate against use under the tightest of cuffs, but you'll have no trouble with a jacket sleeve. Lug-to-lug, the watch is nicely compact, 44.6 millimeters, and the spacing between the lugs a very traditional 18 millimeters, which helps to compound the vintage aesthetic and appeal. Now, the watch does have a strap, as you can see, an Omega French-made factory strap. It has a distressed gaiter on the top with a calfskin on the bottom, and you'll note that it does feature the original 18 karat gold Omega pin buckle, so everything is congruent and everything matches. The case itself is surpassing in its beauty because it retains so many of its original details. This one has been refinished rarely, if ever. You can see the sharp split between the satin finish of the case flank and the polish of the flaring bevels. You can see that the break between the bevel and the satin side is continuous and sharp, with the definition distinct all the way around the watch. You'll also note that one of the traditional hallmarks of an over-refinished or roughly handled gold Omega watch is the reduction of the lacquer inside the stamped characters of the tachymeter scale. So you can actually see that the black lacquer in the gold track is entirely intact, and you can see even the dot indices above the numerals are completely full. So this watch is in outstanding condition outside and in. Turn it all over, and yes, an early example of an Omega display case back, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's talk about the dial of the watch. It's sensational. You'll note that it is a sort of matte gold, but what you might not see, at least not on the camera, is that it has a vertical satin finish. So it is golden toned, but it also has a stainless steel like satin finish that runs top to bottom. All of the indices are applique, and you'll note that there are sunken and snailed subregisters for constant seconds as well as chronograph minutes and hours. The watch does feature a wonderful plexiglass crystal, so it has that off-axis distortion, the Speedy Reduced, using the plexiglass crystal from the late 1980s right up till 2006. So this one has a little bit of that vintage charm and warmth to it. You could see that the dial is of high grade. What you can't see in the light is that it's also original tritium. It has a wonderful warm tritium fade that perfectly matches the gold tones of the dial base. And the contrast between the blackened indices and blackened hands in the gold background, outstanding. So legibility by day, fantastic. Turn it all over. 50 meters water resistant, so not a hardcore aquatic watch, but a good looking rendition of a modular 2892 based automatic chronograph. 46 joules, automatic winding, bidirectional winding action, 28,800 vibrations per hour. This one is known as the 1140. It features a vertical clutch chronograph engagement. It features hacking or stop seconds, so when you withdraw the crown, you will stop all of the action on the dial side, and you can set precisely to a reference time. And the watch has both the character of a vintage watch with the condition of a late model, and that's really the holy grail for collectors of watches older than the modern era. It has the pre-1995 hallmarks, it has a plexiglass crystal, it has a tritium dial, and significantly, it has all of its original metal and all of its original lacquer. You can see the Speedy Reduced, which proves that sometimes less is more, and make it yours on the Watchbox.